Hey guys, today I'm in a mood for something totally different. I know this channel is all about story-rich games, but ever since I found out about this virtual tour from Assassin's Creed Origins, I've been wanting to check it out. Basically, it's going to be a virtual tour to visit ancient Egypt based on the world they built for the Origins game, which is, if you have played this game, you will know how beautiful and detailed this world is, and I think it's a really good idea that games do this. Actually, this is the only game that I know of that has done something like this, and I really wish to see more in the future, and we get to experience the world, the culture, and the extinct creatures in a very first-person perspective, and I'm just purely a spectator going into this world, hoping to learn a thing or two, but mostly to embrace the beauty that this world has to offer, and I hope you are excited too. And it's not even really a game, it's more like a education, more so than a game. Anyway, this intro is way too long. Right, let's check it out. I just have a feeling that some of you guys actually know way more about ancient Egypt than I do. So please feel free to share in the comments if you have anything you find interesting for sharing, inspired by this tour, or just in general. This is going to be a very different experience and I can't wait. So how many times do we stay in the game and feel like, oh, I really wish I could just take my time and soak it in and just interact with these people? I don't know if we can. They're actually speaking another language. So never mind. Can interact. I think right now is the tutorial. Oh god, what is her name? It's been too long, I can't even remember if she is actually one of the characters from the main campaign. Wow, let's look at the map. This is massive. Are these all museums that we can go to? So we're starting from this one. We'll start from the first one. Alexandria, planning of the city. Learn about the design and layout of the city of Alexandria. This will be a perfect starting point. Fast travel. Oh my god, this is massive. That's one thing I love and hate about the Assassin's Creed franchise. And I have decided not to include the face cam because I feel like it's going to be so beautiful, and you guys don't need to see my face for this, really. Not that you ever need to see my face. So it looks like under tours there are 5 different categories: Egypt, pyramids, Alexandria, daily life, and Romans. God, this is so exciting. So much content. And under each one, oh great, we can actually fast travel. I think that's maybe what I'll do for the most part. We will be walking around just freely at times for sure, but mostly we're gonna just do fast travel. Next, let's look at, oh, you can actually choose different characters. Bayek of Siwa, that's the main character I remember I was playing. That's his wife, Julius Caesar. You can even play as Cleopatra. Nice. Okay, that's a possibility. Wow, you can play as any of these characters. Oh, cool. I wonder if that will affect how the citizens interact with us. I like her ornate costume. Passport. Oh, cool. They have a passport system that we can check in and stamp the ones that we've completed. Nice. Timeline. Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom, Late Period. Oh, how do you pronounce this? Ptolemaic? Ptolemaic. And today. Interesting. Right. Let's go. Oh, she looks so rich. Too rich to be walking around like this. We're gonna get mugged. Okay, I love how interactive the world is so far. Alexandra, planning of the city. Learn about the design and layout of the city of Alexandria. Estimated time 6 minutes.
Welcome to Alexandria, planning of the city.
Oh, this is so cool.
Alexander's plan to build his great city began with a verse from Homer's Odyssey. There is, in front of Egypt, in the sea with many swells, an island called Pharos. Guided by these clues, Alexander the Great founded his future city at the western end of the Nile Delta.
Legendary site. I love how you can actually see, I'm assuming this is actual historical wall mosaic painting, right? It's not just something created in the game, because that's the whole point of the educational tour. Okay, this episode is perfect for before people go to bed and needed something to simmer down. This really is the actual wall painting, because at the top of the screen it tells you it is right now in this museum in Naples. Oh cool. We get to experience the museums in this type of intimate new format from the comfort of our own home. I really love it. Wow, it's sunset already? I didn't know that I stayed on that page for that long.
Though Alexander considered this location ideal for his great city, it presented considerable challenges. Too difficult to access during storms, the surrounding swamps threatened disease, and the limestone soil prevented the growth of healthy crops. However, due to the influence of his mentor Aristotle, Alexander the Great recognized that the true value was its strategic emplacement. Alexander knew that in controlling Pelusium to the east, Memphis to the south, and his crowning glory Alexandria to the west, he would create a triangular stronghold, allowing him to control the entire delta while giving him access to the Mediterranean.
Oh, I better hurry up. It's getting dark. The walls of...
The Great Walls of Alexandria had a humble beginning. Lacking chalk to outline the future city's foundations, architects were forced to use flour instead. Clouds of migrating birds swept down and ate the flour, erasing the plans. This prompted Alexander to seek guidance from the oracles, who reassured him that his future city was destined to feed a large population.
Yeah, it's hard to expect otherwise when you use food to build the city. And there's so many birds around and other animals. Papyrus Marsh. It's amazing how even back then people could create something this intricate. This is really inspiring.
Excavations led by Mahmud Bey el-Falaki in the 19th century revealed that the wall enclosure measured approximately 5.2 kilometers in length and 2.2 kilometers in width. It was roughly 9 meters in height.
I really like how this man's voice sounds just like those audio guide at museums. Oh, this piece is at the Met too. This is definitely refreshing.
These formidable ancient walls would resist a number of attacks, including fending off the king of Syria in 169 BCE. It wasn't until 295 CE that they eventually fell to Roman Emperor Diocletian, and this only after 8 months of relentless assault.
See if we can talk to these people. Hi, I am your queen. Whoa, this can be a game on its own. Oh, can I? Amazing. Oh, whoa, sorry. But hey, I'm your queen. Everything you own is mine. Oh, why? What's wrong? Can I stand there? Can I? Please? So this is the point of sadness. Whoever stands here must do this and feel cold. Cool. Let's do this. Maybe I can do it. Let me try. I want to try. Yes, let me try. I bet Cleopatra's never touched a thing like this in her life. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk to this man. Oh, nothing to say? Fine. What's he doing there? Boring. We'll get back on the trail shortly. After I mess with everybody. We're behaving like a disobedient child on a school field trip. Oh, it's this. I want to dance. Teach me how to do this dance. this how you treat your queen? They won't even acknowledge me. Okay, fine. Back on the tour.
Alexandria's principal architect, Dinocrates, chose a Hippodamian grid plan. The grid maximized functionality, with wide, straight roads and canals running beneath them. Alexander recognized the military value of the city's design. The wide, parallel streets gave him optimal surveillance of the city, while allowing the unobstructed flow of troops.
It's incredible how this city is better planned than many modern cities. I don't know if it's better, but it definitely looks so organized and optimized for surveillance. You're probably talking shit about us. Too bad I don't understand a word. Bow to your queen. Whoa, who did this? Unsightly. Somebody come clean this.
A central corridor ran from the Mediterranean's north port down to Lake Mareotis to the south. This thoroughfare acted as an unobstructed link for commercial trade and travel between the two ports. Many of the streets were bordered with grand buildings and parks, including Canopic Street, with its impressive gate bordering the eastern end.
Wow, look at it. This truly feels like a living, breathing world. A Greek city.
Alexandria was most likely built upon an already existing Egyptian village. Upon its completion, the Egyptians reviled the city, refusing to call it by its founder's name. Instead, they called it Raked, the building, as a mark of disdain, which was later Hellenized into Rakotis. Despite this, the name Alexandria would remain.
Oh, cool. Now we can pick the ones that we want to do first and explore freely. Amazing. So let's do daily life. Daily life. Okay, before we continue, Osiris, the first mummy. Yeah, how did it begin? The preserve the body culture. Understand the significance of the mummies of ancient Egyptians. Estimated time, 4 minutes. Oh, it's gonna take me way more than 4 minutes, for sure. Hope this is not too graphic for some of you guys. Fast travel. Aya is so pretty. She has a strong face, but still feminine. This is the beginning of our tour.
Welcome to Osiris, the first mummy.
Osiris. How did it all start?
The oldest mummies recovered date from the Old Kingdom, though Egyptologists believe that mummification was in use much earlier than that. At first, the body was mummified through environmental desiccation, by leveraging the dryness of the environment and the heat of the climate. Early experimentations in mummification were conducted with the use of resin made from tree sap. Strips of linen were only used on some superficial parts of the epidermis of the hands or jaw.
Whoa, I feel like I should put some sort of a warning at the beginning of the video because this might be a bit too graphic for some viewers. Personally, I'm okay with this type of things because I think it's part of the culture, part of their culture. I should really include a warning regardless. Ah, so cool. Like you don't have to be at a crowded museum and you really get to do this at your own pace. And you can stay on a page for as long as you want, and you have your private tour guide, and you can interact with the people from the time. How perfect is this? This one is at the British Museum. Reconstruction. It's a reconstruction of the tomb of a man. Oh shit! Now it's all dark. Oh, you can still call the eagle. Can I still use the torch? Yes. Okay. No funny business. This is supposed to be an educational tour, okay? No jump scare.
Ideologically, the will to preserve the body is not explained in any way until 3600 BCE. This is when the Egyptian belief that the body housed the soul was finally documented for modern Egyptologists to eventually decipher. It was not until the arrival of the myth of Osiris in the Egyptian religion around the 5th dynasty that mummification was thoroughly conceptualized. The practice was thereafter grounded in both a mythological and ideological point of view.
This really was such a great idea for Ubisoft to do something like this.
Osiris was mainly known as the god of the dead and the god of resurrection. The most well-known Genesis myth concerning Osiris is that of his dismemberment.
Because the amount of work they put into rebuilding this world is really worth a revisit like this. This is very different from when we actually play a game, because the main purpose here is to really just check out all the subtle details. There's no quest, there's no need to rush. Statues of Osiris.
It is Plutarch who gives the most simplified and complete summary of the story. Within Egyptian mythology, Osiris represented the first king to rule Egypt. Jealous of his power, his brother Seth attempted to usurp his throne. After several unsuccessful attempts, Seth succeeded in killing his brother by dismembering him and scattering the pieces of his body all over Egypt. Isis, the great of magic, traveled all over Egypt in search of the pieces of her husband's body. After a long search, she recovered all the pieces save for his manhood, as it was eaten by a fish.
That's such a sad story. Betrayal of his brother, and then the love of the wife, trying to retrieve all the pieces. Sad and romantic. I wonder if they'll explain the tools he's holding in his hand, because they probably symbolize something, power, knowledge, things of that nature.
Isis then reassembled the body of her husband by binding it together with strips of linen. Aided by her sister Nephthys, another powerful magician, they gave Osiris the breath of life. This not only brought him back from the dead, but also allowed him to recover his virility long enough to impregnate Isis, thus ensuring his succession before, once more, dying. Thus Horus was born.
What kind of material is this? Statuette of Isis and Horus. Again, this is at the mat. Gotta check this out, because this material is from ancient Egypt. It's like turquoise. So pretty.
The ritual used to bring Osiris back to life essentially depicts how he became the first mummy. It is why, on the sarcophagi of kings, we often find Isis and Nephthys represented as the magicians who restore life to the deceased.
I think most cultures are infatuated with extending life expectancy, but the ancient Egyptians are, as I remember, they see the afterlife just as important as life itself. That's why they spend so much time and energy preserving the body and depict afterlife. And even the way they place the pyramids based on the sunrise and sunsets. I'm so excited to visit the pyramids later, but I think today I'm gonna wrap this up here. But this has been so much fun. I mean, at least for me, I feel like this is really fun. I wish to play more travel games like this. So if you guys know of any good ones, please let me know. I really hope you had as much fun as I had. And I'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and healthy. Bye. Bye, everybody.